All right, everybody, here is my tree for my phenology, my study of seasonal changes. And I chose this tree. It's a birch tree at Blandford Nature Center, just a little ways away from the Nature Center itself. And I chose this tree because birch trees, you don't find them very often in the woods anymore around Michigan. So I'm gonna go over and start my phenology writing and show you what you can do. And that's my son Oliver.
Hello.
Here's another reason why I chose this tree. It's got this really cool bark. You're not supposed to peel it back because if you peel it back, it can allow insects to get in. So this is just a unique tree. So what I want to do is I want to study my tree. One thing I noticed right away, my tree's got a vine of poison ivy that wraps all around it. So that will be some interesting features to watch for when I come back and visit it every Friday. Especially in the springtime, I'll start noticing it growing little out branches from here. Here's one right here, and I actually just rubbed my head against it. I hope I don't get poison ivy. One way you can tell it's poison ivy is all of these little hairs, and that's how it's attaching to this birch tree. It's not hurting the birch tree at all. It's just living right on it. That's called symbiosis. They're living happily together. I would estimate my tree is probably, I'd say probably 60 to 70 feet tall. And again, it's really unique to this area. There used to be birch trees, and then when the folks came in and started building towns, they were taken out. And there's also a bunch of different birch tree diseases. You can see birch trees mainly when you go up north. So what I'm gonna do first is I'm gonna draw my tree, and I'm gonna draw some very interesting qualities about this tree. I'll see what I can do. Well, I finished my observations of my tree. I'm sitting on the ground here, and you can see way up there. So what I did was I made some observations. I did want to show you this though. I noticed when I was sitting quietly, there's a hawk nest up in this red pine tree right by my tree. So that's pretty cool. So what I did is I drew my tree, and I determined that my tree drawing was about 20 feet of the tree. I couldn't really draw that much. And I made some observations. So one of the observations I noticed about this tree is that its bark designs are horizontal. See those lines in there? The bark still goes vertical, but the designs are mostly horizontal. Most trees are vertical design. You can see like this tree goes up and down. The bark goes up and down. So that's one thing I noticed. I noticed that my birch tree leans a lot, and let's see, I noticed that the red pine behind it has a hawk nest. I used my senses, and I could hear spring peepers calling from the wetlands in November. What? The temperature was 54. It's 54 and it's cloudy, not that much wind, and I can hear lots of neighborhood noises and birds. Let's see. It smells like nature, that's for sure. And all around me are some old trees, lots of leaves down. I'm also by this really interesting pile of sticks that I think would be great cover, great habitat for lots of other animals. I see some woodpecker holes in there. So I chose a nice little spot, I think, and I'm gonna visit this every single Friday and see what my area has to offer, studying the seasonal changes. All right, friends, here I am sitting against my tree. I just want to make sure you know you don't need to go to a nature center. You don't need to go find a big tree. do something, choose something in your backyard. You can study anything. You can study the seasonal changes of a plant in your front yard. You can study the seasonal changes of a nest in a tree. Study the wall, the back of your garage, and see how things change. You'll be surprised at what you see. So if you'd like to share any of your drawings or any of your observations, please, 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 I love to see them. I love to hear your little voices. I love to see any videos you want to send, but just try to get outside and enjoy the outdoors. We are so lucky to live in this beautiful place. And one of the things that's great about our school, West Michigan Academy of Environmental Science, is the fact that we do learn outdoors. So use some time, go outside and enjoy the outdoors. All right, take care, you guys. Thanks. Happy Phenology Friday.